Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hope you're doing well. I got the January 2024 issue of my American Hunter magazine early, and I always share the armed citizen section. Throughout this magazine, there's hunting tips, hunting tutorials, even cooking tutorials for deer and whatnot. But in this magazine, there's a section that's called the armed citizen, where they show positive stories of people who protected their lives with firearms. Okay, and I always like to highlight those. Let's begin. Bismillah. A man returned to his Los Angeles, California home around 7. My husband's making funny things, trying to distract me. Home around 7:30 p.m. the evening of November 4th, and was about to unlock his front door when two men jumped over a short wall by his driveway. One man ran up behind the homeowner and shoved his gun at him, but the homeowner immediately responded, dropping his keys and slamming his cup of hot tea in the assailant's face, then drawing his own gun and firing several shots. He then moved out of his front door corridor to use his vehicle as concealment. Wow, it's like smart. The assailants returned fire as they fled. The homeowner told reporters his wife, their 5-month-old baby, a friend, and family's nanny were inside during the attack. No injuries were reported. In later reports, the homeowner implored the district attorney to stop picking the wrong people to go after and to charge the criminals. Now, Los Angeles is like it's a crime hub, right? Gavin Newsom, soft on crime, doesn't do good enough at all, and no cash bail, and this rotation of letting criminals out is really causing a lot of problems in California. Liberals, they're not very good with crime, okay? A lot of AOCs of the world, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, say they just want bread. She literally said that. And they do all this, well, they're mentally ill, and well, they make a lot of Ivy League tower, armchair, laptop class remarks to avoid just hiring more police. Remember, the liberals were defund the police people, and then they backpedaled heavily. But we all remember those times. And so, when we hear a story about this, where a guy is in his driveway, doing his own thing, he was able to use his firearm and his hot tea to, get those people away from the family. Criminals are having easy pickings. We don't need to make things easier for criminals. We need to make things horrible for them. Okay? In the next story, a man was driving in Forsyth County, Georgia, on GA, I think is Georgia, on October 5th, when the person driving in front of him slammed on his brakes. Both vehicles then stopped at a red light, whereupon the man in the vehicle that had braked suddenly reportedly rolled down his window and began yelling obscenities at the other driver. Road rage. Then exited his vehicle and allegedly physically attacked the other driver through his open window. The road rager then stabbed the other driver's tire. What? Then reportedly advanced on him with his knife in hand. That's pretty freaky. The driver, still in his vehicle, feared for his life and shot at the other man in the hand. So he shot his hand. The suspect was arrested and was to be charged with aggravated assault, criminal damage to property, and battery. Atlanta, Georgia. News reported this. So yeah, I was right. GA is for Georgia. Forsyth County, October 5th. So road rage, right? People high on drugs, taking pills, poor impulse control, can't regulate their emotions. This shanked this guy's tire, had it in his, he attacked him through his window, shanked the tires. Like, he's going nuts. He deserved what he got, for sure. No sympathy at all. So, the first story, someone's driveway, then a road rage story. Next one. On October 5th, near 11 p.m., a 30-year-old man began pounding on a window of a home in Phoenix, Arizona. He succeeded in breaking into the home and entering, whereupon a resident inside shot him. Good. The armed citizen lived there with his spouse and 2 young daughters, according to reports. The intruder died later at the hospital from his wounds. Fox Phoenix 10. Yeah, good riddance. The world don't need them. Okay? Breaking into the home where your children are. Right? So the funniest thing I notice is that men from the Middle East will say things like, women don't need firearms because they'll just be inside, right? But then you will see that you could be minding your own business, and then you have a criminal bust in and literally try to rob you and do worse to your family. And your children will be traumatized with that home invasion and will probably be very pro-Second Amendment in America when they get older, because there's nothing more beautiful than watching your father, eliminate a threat to the family or your mother. So, again, someone's in their driveway, someone's just driving, someone's in their home. So time and time again, when you see these stories, you'll see the positive effects of being able to own a firearm. The next story, a homeowner in Bismarck, North Dakota, was awoken at 3 a.m. on October 6th by loud noises coming from a child's unoccupied room. Scary. Ooh, awakened at 3 a.m. Oh, scary. When he went to investigate, he reportedly discovered a naked man throwing toys and clothes around. The homeowner yelled for his wife to call police, retrieved his gun, and held the intruder at gunpoint until help arrived. The intruder, who had apparently entered through an unlocked back door — morons, gotta lock your door — and seemed intoxicated, told the homeowner he was there for his clothes. He was to be charged with felony burglary and misdemeanor counts of criminal mischief and disorderly conduct. So, the BismarckTribune.com reported that. Imagine your child's... That's why it's important for moms to sleep in the same room as their kids. I believe in that. My children sleep with me in the same room, and that's why I'm a light sleeper. That's why I don't like it when people trivialize you're asleep and then your husband touches you or does something. You like, when you're on alert, you live in a dangerous area, you're on alert, right? Even not in a dangerous area, you need to be alert as a mom. Okay? And if that child would have been in there and then witnessed a naked man at 3 a.m. coming into their room and doing crazy things, talk about a nightmare. Now, imagine if the child would have been in there and the father's wrestling with this naked man who could have a disease, could bite him, and he could overpower him, choke him out before police arrive. People forget. The police show up after. Okay? After. He was able to hold this psychopath at gunpoint. And again, intoxicants, making people do crazy things. It's very terrifying. Very terrifying. And what I like about these news stories is they highlight different areas. Phoenix, Arizona, North Dakota, Bismarck, Atlanta, Georgia, Los Angeles. You get stories from all over, right? Criminals exist all over. It's just horrendous. On October 12th at 11:20 p.m., two men in Tucson, Arizona parking lot were suddenly approached by two armed masked men. So a parking lot. The would-be robbers demanded money at gunpoint, but the two other men drew their own guns and fired, killing the assailants. Good riddance. Oh, poor criminals. No, get rid of them. World doesn't need them. They immediately called 911 after the incident. No charges have been filed at the time of reporting. Good for them. See, robbers should be scared. Robbers thrive on fear. Okay? Oh, I need money to go buy my PS4 games or drugs. Blech. I have to rob. No. You can get a job. There's no excuse. You can chop wood, sell it, whatever the hell you gotta do. If a guy can dance in the street and make balloon animals, you can do something as well. You resort to crime, no one should care how you get eliminated. I have no feelings, no remorse for any of them. If they change their life, okay, you change your life. That's when you change your life, though. Big difference, right? A couple in Bellefontaine neighbors, MO, where's MO? Missouri? St. Louis is in Missouri, right? Yeah. Had just dropped off their child at school around 9 a.m. on October 13th, but came back to their house to retrieve a forgotten item. The woman exited the vehicle and went inside, leaving the front car door open, while the man stayed in the back seat. A male reportedly jumped out of a vehicle that had followed them home, and entered the open car door. The man in the back seat shot the would-be carjacker, who then fled to the waiting vehicle. The occupants of that vehicle fired at the defender as they left, striking him in the elbow. Police later arrested the suspect carjacker. St. Louis, Missouri. Wow. Don't leave your car door open, man. Don't, like some people, they will go to warm up their cars. Don't, you just gotta stay in your vehicle. People have to have a security mindset. Okay? Like, criminals exist all over the planet. Treat them like you would an alien on another planet. If you were on another planet, just like, you're on Pandora and Avatar, right? You know there's like all this weird stuff. That's how you should treat Earth. Okay? Criminals are like cockroaches. They're a disease. They are these disgusting creatures that don't matter in the world and need to be gotten rid of. Okay? They like to spread evil. They like to hurt people. They have no morals. So you should look at them as some type of alien entity that you cannot have hesitancy with, right? The laws should favor the citizens who are good, and there should be zero tolerance, zero mercy for those who choose to screw up. Now, if they're young and it's like two kids getting a fist fight at a gas station, it's different. But if you're doing carjackings, you are getting into road rage fits, you're breaking into people's houses, you're a naked guy going into a kid's room, breaking in, sorry, throw the book at you. This is why we need labor camps. We need hardcore labor camps where they are working hard, chained to each other's legs, right? Like a chain gang, like how they used to have in the railroads, and we need to reuse them. I think it's the Constitution or the Bill of Rights, I don't remember. It says no cruel and unusual punishment. But we're testing products on bunnies and monkeys. Why not test it on those criminals? Not political prisoners, but people who, like, okay, clearly you're unfit and you're not socialized, so you don't want to live in civilized society, so we're not going to treat you like a civilized citizen. Right? Make prison terrifying. Make prison so horrible. And if that helps save people from committing crimes, oh well. If it doesn't, good riddance. We don't need them. We don't need them. People being born every day. Good immigrants want to come here, work hard. If we have domestic criminals, utilize them in some fashion. Maybe even get them, sell their organs. Who knows? We can't have this anymore. That's why so many countries, they got all this crime. And it's like, why are we tolerating it? Humans are too soft. Okay? We need harsh punishments. We need cheap death penalties. We need to really clean up our streets. And that's why I think more and more people, we're not going to be these soft, pacifist liberals, kiss the other cheek, if you strike me, I just beg for your forgiveness and kiss your feet. No. Gonna have to do that eye for an eye. A homeowner in Kokomo, Indiana, that's an interesting name of a city, sounds Japanese, awoke around 8:45 p.m. on October 15th to strange noises in his living room. He investigated and discovered a stranger in his home. Oh, it's such a nightmare, man. Oh, so scary. He investigated and discovered a stranger in his home. He attempted to get the intruder to leave, but the man instead attacked the homeowner, who then fired at the assailant and killed him. The homeowner was treated for minor bruising and abrasions. and the investigation was still ongoing on the time of reporting. Fox59.com, Indianapolis, Indiana. You see? So in the living room again. People just coming into your home. Okay? Like, it's so strange when you hear Muslim men from the Middle East or in the UK, where the UK is like, their cops are pathetic. Some of them don't even have firearms. They got fat women being in their police force. It's like ridiculous. But you see these people, think, you can just talk nicely to a criminal. Or a woman's gonna be inside, your man's at work, you're inside, the criminal comes to hurt you. Okay? You have to be a strong woman. Okay? You have to be brave and bold. Not hide under your bed and just let him, force himself upon you. No. You treat that like an alien coming from another planet into your home. Take him out. It doesn't mean you're not feminine. I mean, come on. If I go to a chicken and I try to take her chick, she gonna get me. Okay? If I go to a dog, I try to take her puppy in a mean way, she gonna bite me. A pig? If I go to a mama pig, I grab that little piglet. It's squealing. You don't think that mama pig's gonna bite me? Why is it that an animal will defend its babies, but then Muslim men, some of them think a Muslim woman should not have any type of bravery, she's incompetent, she's retarded, she has to just allow a criminal to hurt her, right? And or her little tears are gonna move this thug killer monster beast. No. It feeds off that. It feeds off fear. So you don't back down. You don't back down. You hide if you can, right? But if you can bust a cap in him and send him back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the world is better. I think women have to start really getting strict on crime. Protect your nest. Always. Doesn't make you masculine or a feminist to want to protect and defend your children's lives. Alright? A lot of those men actually fear women being armed because they want to mistreat their women, and they think their woman somehow is gonna eliminate them or some stupid thing like that. So their internalized kind of fear of a woman not, being a mouse that you can just beat with your skillet. They think, oh, you're a radical feminist. But in reality, you see crime all over the world, and you cannot escape crime. Don't tell me, go to this country, there's no crime. Sorry. There is no pure safe place. There's scammers, there are corrupt people, criminals, deviants, prostitutes, pimps in every single country, in every single city. Okay? So, you need to have a security mindset. Doesn't mean you're paranoid, looking out the blinds. But what it does mean is you don't be naive. You look around, you lock your doors, keep your ears primed. That's why I don't use headphones really. Because if you have your headphones on, you can't see an enemy trying to get into you. Okay? Be wise. In Muslims, we have the fear prayer, which we read in the fiqh book, the concise presentation of fiqh. I remember that if you're fear, you have your arms, your weapons on you. One row prays, and then you pray, and then they guard you as you pray. Right? Think about that. So you can guard yourself while you pray, and you're allowed to pray on your horse if you're scared, right? You can, but while moving, if you're afraid of the danger around you. So, of course, you can have a firearm to defend your life and property. Islam does not forbid women from having tools of self-defense against criminals. That would be absurd. Okay? Plus, if you think about 1,000 years ago, all the Muslim women had knives. So if a criminal broke into her home and tried to attack her, you think she's not going to try to grab a dagger? Come on. Hello. She's cutting meat. Take that meat cleaver. Handle business. Fight for your life. Yes, maybe you're screaming and hollering, asking for help, but you don't lay down. Okay? Does the deer lay down for the wolf? It's squirming and moving, kicking till the very end. even when a wildebeest is crossing a river, the crocodile is pulling it into the water, it's still fighting, hoping to get released. That fight to live. I mean, come on. You can poke a worm. Do it. Worm is like, and you start poking at it, it starts squirming, hoping that it can, like, flip off into some water or something. Tries to get away. Baby bird, you start touching it, it don't know you, is trying to get away. A rabbit, trying to get away. So why won't you? Oh, criminal. Like, just have that type of tenacity, that bravery. You know, look as a criminal like a disgusting creature. You know, they say women shouldn't vote, but you should vote for all kinds of stuff that make life hard for criminals. I don't care if you didn't have a dad, you didn't have a mom. You start doing crimes, you're a menace to society. We don't need you. Okay? Why should good people be making iPhones and suffering? Good people working in coal mines, on fishing boats, and you think that you just get to go around and jack everybody. No. And I bet you there's liberals, you shouldn't flog or whip a criminal, how mean. No. We should have zero tolerance. Zero. Remember that thing in England? They used to put people's heads in there? Like a wood thing, and their hands were there in the front, and they were stuck like that uncomfortably for days, and people would walk by. We need stuff like that. There's sense to that. But liberals, oh, you know, you just have to say nice words. And that criminal who pistol whipped an 80-year-old grandma, you know, he's gonna feel so bad. Ooh. No. You need to get brutal. Like just grab that vicious little, like, monster that's, like, biting at your hand and just whack, whack, whack. Take it out. Filthy. See, I've talked about this before, where I think that the military, it's a tough thing, right? Because you don't want it to get out of hand. You don't want to look like you're occupied. But it would be very nice. You know, a couple gang people on the corner, drug dealers, you know, people who are known. If you just have the military, pop, pop, lay them down. Now, you don't want that being used against people in the wrong way. But it's like, we have to clean the streets. Shoo, 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 shoo. You know, Mexico got too soft with the cartels. Now look. They literally have to have the military at resorts. Kills tourism. Kills the economy. What you doing? Okay? You gotta show force. Right? But not like China where you're stomping out student protests. That's not what I mean. But the criminals. Vicious little criminals. Kids are outside playing. Neighbor kids. Interrupting the video. But let me know what you think. Thinking about what we could do to criminals in a horrible way is just so exciting. Sorry if you don't like that. But if you don't have sympathy for the innocent, you know, but you got sympathy for how people should treat the criminals, you're part of the problem. You should start looking through, like, the public posts that are available, or these repeat offenders to get slaps on the wrist, you know. There was a young guy who hacked the GTA 6 or 5 or whatever number it is recently. They put him in life in hospital. I don't know exactly what that means, but it's like he has autism, and he's pretty much a very smart individual. But they're gonna make him so some type of life punishment. I guess that means in a mental facility. Like, this kid got punished harsher than some of these carjackers. You know, you start looking at how the justice system is really screwed up. You're like, we need some reform. And we need to make use of these criminals. If we have to work hard, earn our daily bread, those filthy, useless, parasitic criminals should have to do the jobs that are difficult and unruly. And if they don't want to do it, have a dirt nap. We don't need you in society. You got a healthy liver, so-and-so needs a transplant. Sorry. I think we have to revolutionize how we treat these criminals. Right? Especially the ones that can't be rehabilitated. Some of them, You know, and don't tell me, oh, well, if they just repent to Allah and change their life, this, and that. Some people are just shaitans. Okay? If a man has R-worded, you know, let's say 30 women, you gonna let him, like, you want him to be your neighbor and, like, and your daughters are playing outside? You know, some people are just pure evil, and you can't let a king cobra into your chicken coop and then expect it not to eat some chicks. You know? You can't get mad at a coyote for acting like a coyote. You have to just understand that's its nature. Criminals, you can get mad at them because they have intelligent aspects to them, but you can't let your guard down. You know, they will bite the hand that feeds them. They will hurt the innocent. They don't have the same morals. They're not gentlemen. They're not classy. They have no value. They are only something that destroys. They are a plague. And that's why, you know, we have to have people in positions of power who will take a nice, hard fist, just scorched earth approach to the criminal problem. Now, let me know what you think. I probably made some people really mad. There's probably some feminists right now. I hate what you said. Some liberal guy with a scarf around his neck and thick black frame glasses, and he's like, how dare you? How dare you? But those mama bears out there, they know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay? If you'd like to join my blog, it's www.subscribestar.com/Milahan Archive. Hope to see you there.